Minority leaders in action to head off the emergency. 2. Countdown to 8 hours begins at the moment the president determines the emergency to be A. National, B. Coordinated, or C. Of long duration. It's the 8th hour. 7th hour. County police join local police. 6th hour. State police join county and local forces. 5th hour. Federal marshals join state, county, and local forces. 4th hour. National Guards, federalized, held in readiness. Regular armed forces alerted, take up positions. Minority troops divided and detained along with all white sympathizers under guard. So their own troops.
That's in the 4th hour.
The 4th hour. So at the 4th hour,
4th hour they take out
all the troops that are minorities
get taken away, and all the leaders
they get taken away.
And the white sympathizers.
Right, and the white sympathizers, the Europeans who are
Europeans
in favor of
yeah
the blacks.
Yeah.
Right? All minority leaders, national and local, detained, 2nd hour. President addresses minority on radio television, gives it 1 hour to end the emergency, 1st hour. And at 0 hours, all units under regional commands into the emergency. 0 committee report. Survey shows that during a 6-hour period, production created 9 million objects, or 1,500,000 each year. Production could not dispose of the containers, which proved a bottleneck. However, that was almost 20 years ago. We suggest that vaporization techniques be employed to overcome the production problems inherent in King Alfred.
Are you talking about the production plan of getting rid of the bodies?
Yeah, because they don't want Germany
No.
to happen again, where there's proof
No evidence, yeah.
of denationalization or terminating denationalized people, or people who choose to
Terminating who are really nationalized people who aren't in their proper person.
in their proper person, right? But they chose not to be in their proper person.
Right.
Because Noble Drew Ali came 1913 to 1929,
Right.
and since 1929, 1969, King Alfred Plan came and told them that you're Moors, that this is your land, you didn't come from Africa, but they don't want to listen to King Alfred Plan, right? UN declarations came and said all children have a right to a nationality.
Right.
UN Declaration of Human Rights said all humans have a right to a nationality. UN Declaration of Indigenous Rights said everybody has a right to a nationality, but they don't want it still. They still don't want it, right?
So they just keep trying to hand it to us.
Oh, and they just don't want it.
So they're saying at that point, if you just want to be dead,
Well, then we'll dead you.
So you just want to be American?
Well,
Unquote?
well, that American is us,
Okay.
because American is the native people of the Americas
That were here when they came.
that were here before,
That's the
like
real
before them.
definition of the
Yeah,
word
that's the
American.
real definition of American.
So if someone doesn't call themselves or doesn't claim an indigenous status, what are they considered?
dead,
Dead,
Non-existent?
stateless, non-existent,
Mhm.
civilly.
Alien.
civilly dead,
Alien.
alien.
The King
Foreigner.
Alfred, the King Alfred plan is, we're talking about the US. What effect would that have on Canada? Why are we talking about it here?
One and the same.
This is America.
This is America, one and the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
It's all
But
It's
America.
not a
greatest-
US government, right?
Right, yeah, but this is, so this is King Alfred Plan.
Yeah.
The greatest concentration of the minority is in the Deep South, the Eastern Seaboard, the Great Lakes region, and the West Coast. So, we're in it. This is the Great Lakes region.
Yeah.
So they might not say Canada in there, but
But I mean, that goes back to what the makeup of Canada is about, right? Because if Canada is a sort of a state registered body.
okay, let's go to the King Alfred Plan, main collection areas.
Make it sound like garbage.
Right.
Okay.
American concentration camps for blacks, Latinos, and poor whites.
Right.
So they have a jurisdiction of people who they're going after, right?
These are the concentration camps, right?
Yeah, so the capital region, northeast region, southeast region, Great Lakes region, south central region, deep south region 2, Great Plains and Mountain region, southwest region 2, Great Plains and Mountain region, southwest region, west coast north region, west coast south region. This is what the map looks like, right here. Right? So it's not like they don't know what they're dealing with, right? They know what they're up to, right? So we have to also always go back to the prophet and his prophecies. So with regard to nationality, right? Let all old business stay as is, and all new business do it in your free national name, right? So what was supposed to be happening from 1913, right, is that Negro, black, colored people would be met by people who are part of the nation, right? And because the nation is out there, not with us because we are the ones that know about it, right? The nation is actually the Negro, black, colored people that don't know that they're Moors, right? So what was supposed to happen is that you come into this, you get taught, and then your job is to go out there and go get people and bring them back. Because that's what we have to do, right? When you go and you get them back, they will come to a meeting, just like something like this. You'll come to a meeting, secretary's gonna be there, treasurer's gonna be there, chairman's gonna be there, etc. Right? At the end of the meeting, there's gonna be a call, anybody want to proclaim their nationality, and then whoever wants to proclaim their nationality, you proclaim your nationality. You get your nationality card, and welcome home and start getting involved.
You're saying that's how it should be.
That's how it should have ran. That's how it was supposed to run. That's probably how it ran up until they killed the prophet. And then after that, it started into, this is a group that you're becoming a member of and you're joining. And then when you join, then we'll give you your nationality. It's in this card called the nationality card. And then it's in these papers called nationality papers. So now you're a Moor. Oh, well, you didn't pay your dues? Okay, well, we're gonna revoke your membership, right? Because we gave it to you. So now we're gonna revoke it, and don't ever come back here again.
You're saying that's what it
That's what it came to.
came to.
Until people just, they would go there and receive the pushback. Come in there sincerely to really find out what's going on. But because Moors got all spooked up because of, FBI infiltration and whatever, everybody's an agent. You can't trust anybody. You gotta
Which-
watch what's going on.
Which is probably somewhat so correct.
Not if you're dealing with, like we were talking about, not if you're dealing with what the prophet laid down. Because what the prophet laid down, nobody can come in and infiltrate anything,
Yeah.
right? Because remember when we were talking about the jurisdiction, the Moorish Science Temple of America is the infiltration. The Moorish movement wasn't the infiltration.
No, I
If
see.
you check all the records,
I see what you're saying.
it's Moorish Science Temple of America they talk about. Moorish Science Temple of America.
Not Moorish
Moorish
Holy-
Science, not Moorish Holy Temple of Science, not Old Canaanite
You're saying
Temple,
that
not,
you're saying that body that got put on top of it, or that jacket,
right,
is what?
is what has the flames right now.
Right.
That who knows can take off the flaming jacket and put it on the side and let it burn.
Right.
right? Because there's an authentic jacket,
Yeah.
that's not burnable.
Well, we all have that jacket on.
Exactly. It's not a jacket that you take off and put on.
It's a skin,
It's a skin. Skin jacket,
or it's an organ.
right? Or it's an organ, yeah. Right? It's part of you.
Yeah.
It's not something that you go out and get.
It just needs to be activated.
Exactly. Well, and how is it gonna be activated? By
Right.
nationality. And then
It's
nationality.
really just your
and then
acknowledgement.
and if you have a national,
Yeah.
then he goes out and gets somebody else, right?
Well, that's that
And then
energy
he
thing
goes
we're
out and gets
talking about.
somebody else, and now you're bringing these clusters together.
That's right. And then it's
That's
wrong.
how your energy, like what you're talking about,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's how your energy grows.
Yeah,
Not just your energy as in your
I know.
aura,
I know.
but your finance energy is gonna grow too.
You have to tell me.
Yeah. Right? But if people don't consider the profit, not even just for a second,
Yeah,
then
we're done.
we're not really.
Well, not done,
because
but-
we have, I mean, I have my birthright,
Yeah.
right? Even if they if they come to take me to a concentration camp,
Yeah. You still.
they're gonna kill me first.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna put me up in there.
That's what I wanted to ask is,
That was my next question.
is, how would, you being a Moor protect you from the King Alfred plan if it was implemented?
Because it's geared to blacks, Latinos, Puerto Ricans, Indians, poor whites, which we're not. Now, It's- now, Noble Ali said that this is a Moorish, divine, and national movement. So it's not only about a physical representation.
So
Or-
when they
or-
come to your door to take you away,
It wouldn't be coming to his door.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be, because there's a divine
and they see
body
the color
behind
of your
this.
skin,
Right.
I mean,
Like, okay, it's like,
That's incredible what you just said.
there's brothers that we know,
Uh-huh.
right? That they have licenses and stuff.
yeah,
And when they get stopped, they don't show their stuff.
yeah.
They say, I'm not showing it to you, because I'm more. Well, we know, oh no, you can't tell me well anything, because I know what the law is, and I know that you guys are practicing color of law, and I know that you guys are trying to extort and trying to racketeer in order to pay your, whatever you're paying. But I'm not down with that, because I'm not a corporate person. I'm not an artificial person. I'm not a child of the crown. I'm not a ward of the state. I'm indigenous. Well, hold on a second. Go to their car or whatever, sit in their car for a little bit,
Make some phone calls.
you know, make a call or two, come back. Well, you're not supposed to be, here's a $10 ticket. Here's a $20 ticket. Because you're going 50 in a 10 zone. Right? Or go to the wicket to go pay the ticket. Okay, well, here's my money, I wanna pay, okay, please sign here. Okay, all rights reserved, UCC 1-103, UCC 1-308. So signature. Oh, we can't accept that.
You know what that is? That's
Like I have the money right here to pay for the ticket. I have the yellow thing right here and the money here. No, we don't want it. You can't sign like that. You have to change your signature.
You know what that's about? That's because they're committing a fraud.
Oh, now you're talking. Exactly, if they were to accept it,
And if they're
that's
accepted,
time,
Or
big
they would have
time.
accepted it.
They can't
And
accept
they know it.
They can't. You
They
have to
can't.
be, you have to be part of that,
Right?
you have to be part of that, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
You have to be part of it.
You have to be in agreement.
In agreement.
With the fraud
You have to be contracted.
to that fraud.
But if you reserve your rights on the contract,
They're done.
Yeah,
you protect yourself.
contract, offer and
And
acceptance.
because they're living by the contract.
And because the contract, to them, the contract makes the law.
That's right.
Even though there's a superior or a supreme body of law
That's right.
that they know that they're obligated to,
That's right.
they're gonna go on the fact that, well, they taught us, so, I mean, they didn't teach us anything, so we don't know what the law is. And they'll just dangle civil rights or whatever, you know what I mean?
just as a
Yeah.
diversion.
You know, when you play with the,
Yeah, yeah,
Look at it.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then you do the psych and you don't do it, it goes running. Right? Like it's a game that they're running.
But if I could just address what the brother was saying, how do you know that just by declaring your nationality, it's gonna be protection? We had the same question with one of our sisters yesterday, and it's just like I said to her, you know, people wanna win the lottery. You're either gonna win or you're gonna lose, but you're not gonna win if you don't buy a ticket. It's that simple.
Exactly.
We don't know what will, we can't guarantee and say, you know, come hell or high water, this is going to happen, because it hasn't been tried yet. It should have been done 100 years ago and it wasn't, so, you know, we have an opportunity to do it now. And it's up to us to either do it or not, but, we're getting the knowledge, and if we're not interested in participating, you know, then what, you know, there's really nothing that any of us can do for anyone who's not interested, you know, but at least if you say, well, look at it this way, you know, we're looking at the King Alfred plan, they're targeting your blacks, your coloreds, your Negroes, your Puerto Ricans, and all the other people who delude to slavery. And before the prophet came to us and resurrected us from that mental slavery and told us about our heritage, everything else, and even since then, all the other movements have had to do with the same thing. You know, every single movement, you tell me one movement that actually tells us who we are and what our birthright is, and there aren't any. You know, there's a whole lot of good organizations out there, Pan-Africanism and, you know, this, that, and the other, but none of them have told us who we are. So I think this is an opportunity for us to, you know, to really prove the validity of what the prophet brought to us, you know?
Yeah. And that everybody is waiting.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, it's the United Nations that came together with the declarations. Like all the nations coming together, all the nations, the family of nations, that body came together with these declarations saying everybody has a right to a nationality.
That's right. So we should have the nationality so we can go and conduct ourselves among the affairs of men, like everybody else at the United Nations, you know?
Right.
But without that, we don't have a voice, we don't have a say, we don't have any rights for that matter.
Now we can get into the argument, or whether it's the corporate nations that are in the UN, or is it organic nations, or are they republics, or are they, regardless of what they are, right? They recognize that there's something called nationality, and everybody from a child to an adult is entitled to it and can't be deprived of it. Nowhere in the world, because everybody signed on to those. So if they're saying, here's your birthright, and we don't want to take it, we want to be everything, you know what I mean? We're going to be, like you listed. You list all the names that we've called ourselves as far as trying to find our identity. And there's going to be this long list of names, names and names and names, pages and pages of names, and more is not on there. Like calling ourselves that isn't on there, on the list of names that we call ourselves. That's the only name missing off the list. And then that's the only thing that we're not, like, running to try. Like, we should be running at this, like, full speed ahead toward this. Because we tried everything else and nothing worked. And if we're honest with ourselves, we'll say, okay, you know what, yeah, we went to this school, this school, this school, this school, this school. This school, this school, this school, this school. Every single school I go to, they tell me I have ADHD and I have to take Ritalin shots. Okay, well, maybe you should try homeschool now. Maybe those people aren't mad at you. Maybe those people aren't trying to diagnose your problem. Maybe they're trying to stunt your intelligence. Maybe you're too smart for them. That's why you have ADHD. Maybe you're bored. That's why you can't keep still in class. Because the teacher is supposed to be talking about calculus to you in grade 9, and they want to do 1 and 1 equals 2 and give you papers to do little quizzes and stuff like that.
Maybe you're visual.
You know, maybe you're visual.
Yeah, exactly, auditorial or whatever.
Everybody's different.
Or
Yeah,
you know
you're
what I mean?
right, exactly.
Right?
Gotta teach them
You
accordingly.
got a question?
That's where the
Two
school
questions.
fails.
Is it true that this is the last year to claim indigenous status?
Okay, the question is it true that this is the last year to claim indigenous status? If you look at it from the perspective of end of the world 2012 and all that, yeah.
What about upward to the UN?
But according to the UN, no, that's not,
Okay.
yeah, there's no, they don't,
It'll be just
indigenous
wrong
status
to do
isn't
that.
isn't a market for
Yeah.
somebody to say, well, you could claim it or you can't claim it,
Okay.
or, you know what I
Because I
mean?
heard someone saying that and it didn't make sense to me because you can't
No.
take away someone's inherent right. You
Right,
can't
exactly.
say this is your last year to say you are who you are.
Right,
That's right.
It doesn't
exactly.
make any sense.
But if you don't say who you really are,
Mm.
then they can take something from you.
Okay.
Because if you're saying that you're something that you're not, then you're committing fraud.
Fraud, yeah.
So they can now make a claim, because you already made yours by committing fraud.
Mhm.
So they have to make a claim now, either come at you or just use you as an economic base for themselves, because they have something on you that you committed fraud,
Mhm.
and they just hold that.
And then my next question is similar to his. Okay, like, I understand what you were saying, but just because you're indigenous, okay, if martial law were to come into place, what steps would you take? Like, what's our plan as a people? Like when I look at a lot of our people nowadays, like, they're not conscious about their health. They can't run for a bus.
Yeah.
We don't have any military, like,
Okay. Let me pose a question. Let's say you're from United States,
mhm,
right? And you go to Congo,
mhm.
and a war breaks out in Congo. You can't get on the plane, you can't go anywhere. Where's the first place you go?
People.
Yeah. And how are you gonna get to your people in the Congo if you're from the United States, quote unquote?
The embassy, right?
Embassy.
Go to
Embassy,
the
yeah.
embassy, yeah.
That's what the Moor Science Temple is supposed to be. That's what that is. It's not a place where you go and pray and learn about the prophet and all that. It's supposed to be an embassy, so the same thing that you're talking about, because they're gonna make an announcement that, yeah, we're under martial law.
Mhm.
When you hear that, you're supposed to go to the temple. Have a nationality card, go to the temple.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And that's your safe haven, because they don't have jurisdiction on that, to come in and say, yeah, we wanna see somebody in here.
Yeah, but.
Unless
is
they
there-
wanna be
isn't
in
it-
their nature how they are, which
Right.
is
No,
dishonest.
what I
and-
mean, it comes down to international law too,
Mhm,
right? Like, everything applies now if
Mhm.
they say martial law.
mhm.
Not just their little martial law idea applies, they have to be mindful of other people around the world watching them too,
Mhm.
you know?
We're talking about United Nations as an example,
Yeah.
let's say.
Right, because, yeah, if they say martial law, it's only gonna be in their jurisdiction, U.S jurisdiction, but U.S has many jurisdictions all over the world that are in other people's jurisdictions, right? So they're gonna look at it as a threat. If martial law goes down in, United States, between Mexico, or above Mexico,
Mhm.
right? If martial law happens, all those other places that have a U.S. embassy or whatever, they're gonna be on like supreme high alert.
Mhm.
Because now they could be put under now, because they allowed these people who are pretending to be the Moors, but weren't really telling the people that it's not them. They were just, using the eagle instead of using the pyramid to represent the government.
There's another point too.
Or there was a comment in the back, or a question in the back.
I was just gonna say, I do hear what you're saying, and I think there's always the possibility that you can be ambushed,
Mhm.
right? You may not make it to the temple.
Mhm.
People may overpower you. But if that happens, I mean, it's not just a physical war that we're fighting, it's spiritual too, right? So it's to stand by who you are as well.
Mhm.
Even if it means you're going down, even if that's what it means, you're going down, right?
Mhm.
You're not one of the people that makes it. That's just reality and work. We know that they do it, right?
But that sort of helps to answer your first question about the deadline for proclaiming your nationality. The deadline was yesterday, because this plan,
The deadline.
this King Alfred plan is in force as we speak. Maybe we don't see people coming at us, you know, in the army and doing the things that these people are talking about doing, but, pardon me?
It was yesterday?
Oh, no, I meant that.
she's figure of speech.
Okay,
So I'm like,
yeah, but
that's what I
honestly,
heard about.
the sooner the better. And, you know, the prophet said,
Yeah.
if you don't do anything else, proclaim your nationality.
Mm.
You don't have to do another thing, but that's all you have to do. And it is divine and it is spiritual. It is in force, you know, I mean, we don't maybe have, maybe it's not that much in our face type of thing that we can see that what's happening, but it's happening all around us all the time, and it happens very subtly, and it happens with the other piece of information that we were reading about this evening, the psych war. They're not coming at us with bombs, they're not coming at us, well, they are sometimes with the guns and all that, but it's all the other things that they're doing. They've destroyed our families, they've destroyed our communities, they've destroyed our food, what else can they do?
To be honest with you, in my perspective, like, I think everything that they're doing is blatant. It's just that people are not awake to see it.
That's
Exactly,
right.
and if it's
Okay.
that blatant, why not declare, what do you have to lose by declaring your nationality? You know what I mean?
And if they're not awake to see it, like, we can agree that, okay, well, they're not awake to see it, right? To see that this is happening to them. But their eyes are open and they're having a conversation with you, that's a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, so, you know what I mean? Are you really gonna, found a universal association to improve the Negro?
Yeah.
When the Negro is a
Yeah.
chimpanzee monkey?
Yeah.
And if that is your intention, then you're a crazy person.
Or the book.
And somebody
Because you
might,
can talk to people and they won't even.
somebody
listen.
might,
They
you
don't-
know, try to frame you, get rid of you, because you're crazy. The same thing with King Alfred plan. All those things are King Alfred plan. Like, when you talk about El Hajj getting killed, and Khalid Muhammad getting killed,
What would they do
and
in jail?
Malachi York in prison, and Wesley Snipes tax stuff, and Michael Vick, all that's King Alfred plan,
Yeah.
right? Just different
Degrees of it.
degrees of it, because they're not gonna just bust it all at one time.
But I think that's also in combination with the psychic war and the physical war that
Right.
they're doing at all times, right?
Right.
That's right.
Right, so like this is, and with regard to how important is the nationality, you know, like, could it expire or whatever, right? Remember, internationally, when you say nationality, people's concept goes into a mode. Like, when you say nationality to somebody else, other than our people, like flags go up.
Yeah, flags, countries,
Yeah, like
lands,
things,
all
like
that
all
comes together,
things,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Headgear, religion, what do they wear, what do they talk, what language do they have, all these things
Yeah.
start playing, right? Now,
But
this
you
is
say
from,
that to our people, they don't think of one specific place or one
Right. They
specific
don't know.
flag or one,
Exactly.
that doesn't, or one
It doesn't
currency,
even equate to
that
them.
comes to.
right? At a meeting where the Holy Prophet was present, he saw 10 Arabians, 5 Turks, 2 Chinese, and 1 Japanese join the Moorish Science Temple of America.
So they know,
Okay, so they know.
they know.
It's not like they don't know. They know. Because if they're gonna go join,
Well, that says it all.
right? But why are they joining? Because the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Moorish movement,
Moorish Holy
has
Science.
a Moorish Holy Temple of Science, has a Rotarian complexion.
Which means,
It's a service association.
all right.
So anybody can be a member.
And it's universal.
It's not, you know what I mean? That's why the nationality card says it's the nationality and identification card. It identifies those who already have a nationality, that they are a member of the first mosque in America, because majority of them are Muslim, or Muslim, or whatever they call themselves, right? They have a right to be part of this, because they're Muslims. But to be a member, not to be nationalized,
Yeah.
to be a member of this association, this organization, this temple, that's not for us, Negro, black, colored people. That's for foreigners. That's for people who are in these lands
Of their nation.
of other nations, right? For us, for Negro, black, colored people, the Moorish movement is an embassy.
Yeah. And it's our nationality.
Right? For other people out there,
It's
the Moorish movement is an association
Because they already have a national.
that they can join, because they already have a nationality.
Exactly.
Not that they can't come and change their nationality, because, you know, the fact that they're in our land, we have that right to say, well, yeah, come into the family.
And that's the same way if you go over to Japan or something, you want to become
Exactly.
a Japanese national, you go
Right.
through that process.
Right, but you can't become a Japanese national,
No,
but you can
exactly.
get
Become a
the
naturalized-
perks,
Yeah,
a
same.
naturalized Japanese
Same with China.
citizen.
Right, right, citizen.
Exactly, right? Just like over here,
Yeah.
right? That we would be the actual people that would be
It's
giving out
basically-
people's passports and
It's your
stuff. That's how
birth-
it's supposed to be.
It's your birthright
Yeah,
that allows you to be
allows you to be
a
the
national.
national. But your birthright has to do with your name and what landmass and
And all that kind of
your
stuff.
culture and your
Yeah,
flag
yeah.
and your headwear and all that,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
An elder Moor said he was walking down the street in Chicago, Illinois, and an Arabian came out of a store and asked him to come into the store. He went with him. The Arabian pointed to a picture of Noble Drew Ali and asked him, "Do you know who this is?" The elder Moor stated, "That's my prophet." The Holy Prophet said, "All right, son." The store was full of Arabians, and the elder Moor said that all of them had identification cards for membership in the Moorish Science Temple of America. All of them had identification cards, not nationality cards, because they're Arabians. They have a nationality already.
But the more-
They naturalized to be U.S. citizens,
Right.
to come here knowing that we are the real heirs to the Moroccan Empire.
So they would be.
But they decided to come and get
They're smarter than us.
some, yeah. Right? They decided to get some. Because don't forget, when you talk to the Filipinos and the Chinese, and they'll tell you about the dark-skinned people from their side that are their forebears. And then when you go to India, they're going to tell you about the Mauryan dynasty,
Mhm.
about people who look like us, that were Hindus,
No matter where you go, they're gonna come right back to us.
right? You're going to go to Europe, they're going to show you all the coat of arms with us on it. So it's not a secret to the world about who the true inheritors are and how they divvied out the portions, right? Because only the heir could really do anything, right?
I watch a lot of Serie A, a lot of Italian football, and you
Yeah.
see in the stands a lot of people with their Moorhead big flags,
Yeah.
waving their big ass Moorhead flags,
Yeah.
and in the stands, oh yeah, oh they know who we are.
One of Drew Ali's divine ministers told of a time when he set up a meeting of Christian preachers to counsel with the Holy Prophet to see whether these preachers would follow the Holy Prophet, right? So, imagine this now. You have a Christian preacher, then you have a brother in a fez, coming to the Christian preacher to tell the Christian preacher that Like, I'm the prophet. Not that European that you have there, that you're trying to force to people. Like, I came back to save you. No. You're a false god. No way the Lord sent you. We can't believe this. You can hear them. You can hear them. How they would like terrorize his character. And he's really the prophet for real.
I have no doubt about that.
Right? The preachers and pastors were assembled, and the divine minister was addressing them before the holy prophet came to the meeting. One of the preachers said, "If he could do what Moses could, I would follow him." The prophet was not present in the room when this statement was made, and the meeting place was on the third floor of the building that they were in. When the prophet arrived at the meeting, he told the preacher, "I can do what Moses did, but if I came walking into the meeting with a lion on a chain, you would jump out of the window and kill yourself." Asiatic preachers and Masons will be the last to come home. They will fight me tooth
Say it
and
again?
claw.
Asiatic what?
Asiatic preachers and Masons will be the last to come home. They will fight me tooth and claw but cannot win. The MSTA membership is going to dwindle down to a handful, but keep the doors open, and I will drive the Asiatics in. When I drive the Asiatics in, it's going to take 10 secretaries just to write down the names.
You gotta wait till their back is against the wall.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what we were talking about yesterday, that we're hard-headed, stiff-necked people that only learn at the point of a sword. And if the sword's not honest, then we're not gonna learn.
Hmm.
You know, which, it's unfortunate,
That's our problem.
right? Prof said, "A beggar nation cannot attain to its highest degree of spirituality." What all these people doing? Begging for them to arrest this youth man's killer. Who's gone into hiding? That nobody can find.
Was it Zimmerman guy?
Zimmerman,
I think that was because of
right?
they
Like-
I,
Begging. Somebody arrest this guy. He killed an innocent black boy. And nobody's doing anything? No top officials or nothing,
It seems like a setup
right?
to me.
Yeah.
It is a setup.
Even the UN came out. UN came out and said, "Yo, this is mad." You know,
Yeah, but that's only lip service though. That's all it is.
right?
It's designed.
Because they said,
Because
they
black.
said,
You see all the black people at Al Sharpton and everything
yep,
else?
That was
once,
terrible.
once they're out, you know already.
Yeah, of course. I was plugging this
It's
thing.
Once you
designed
see-
to
once you see certain people-
And they
the
want us to
high-ranking
rise up.
Masons that are
They
Yeah.
want us to
playing the
rise up.
game.
Because then they can put their plan in place.
Right.
But some of us are so dead that we don't even realize what's going on, that we're not rising up.
No, but that's the thing. So it's
So they probably thought this would do it. This, like they do a number of different things.
right.
It will make us rise up. We'll be so distracted watching these things, we'll rise up, but
Yeah,
it's
but-
not happening yet.
But remember
Never
that,
has.
remember that
Because that should make a
the LA riots,
Mhm.
right? The LA riots was like the trial, the last trial that they did
Mhm.
of, okay, let's do something and see what happens and see if it's gonna cause the,
Mhm.
like, yeah, that happened,
Mhm.
but they almost burned down the whole city too.
Yeah.
Which can't, you know what I mean? Like, they can't lose anything that's theirs.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
You're saying they don't want to.
They don't want to lose. They just want to exterminate the minority. They
What
don't
you're
want.
saying is that backfired a bit on them.
It backfired, yeah.
Mhm.
Their plan backfired. So, you know, it's still a methodology that they're going to use because we never figured out the game and, you know, the black-white game, right? Even man came out and said, "Yo, can't we just all just get along?" You know what I mean? Swollen face and everything.
You don't want to get along, they want to beat you up.
Right?
Let's just have peace, right?
Let's just have peace. Like, come on, yo. Like, look at me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Took his shades off, everything.
That's incredible, because he knew,
Yo,
he was on.
he was on.
Even though he took the
But
beat.
nah, we want revenge. When the guy who got beat up is saying, yo, chill.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll take the beating for my people so we can have some unity. Nah, that nigga's crazy. Man, let's go get those crackers, man. Right? But by that time, you know, everything's, you know, you got people's stores burning down.
But do you think also that maybe is in a sense, like I've had these thoughts that, you know, he's trying to tell you to do that, but they know what their natural reaction is gonna be, right? Which is for them to attack, so in a
Right.
sense, we're playing into that game,
Yeah.
right? Even though in a sense, maybe it's backfired on them, we're still reacting how they want us to react,
That's right.
Yeah,
which is really not good,
yeah, which is sorcery.
right?
And
Again,
mind control and brainwashing.
right. Because rather than nationalizing at that point, we're out there acting like a set,
That's all.
like a-
Simple. All you have to do is just declare your nationality.
like a set of animals is what we're acting.
Yeah.
And that's
And-
what,
and
and then
if-
that gives them that gives
Credence.
them
Validity, yeah, yeah,
validity
to do what they're doing.
Right,
Because we're acting like animals.
yeah.
They're not making us act like animals. Like, we're acting like animals. So we get what
What an animal deserves.
an animal deserves. You know what I mean? Some say collar, some say noose.
That's right. Some say
Right.
that. Right.
You know, it's nothing personal, but that's what it's gonna be.
So in a sense, they're bringing us to our lower selves yet again.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's our choice, you know, why
Exactly.
are we always
We can't be
reactive?
brought.
Like we were saying the other day, we're never proactive, we're never thinking ahead, we're never thinking to see
Like,
what's
those
going
guys
to
are thinking
happen.
50 years ahead. Everything they do.
Thank you, because that was what, 1969? And it was talking about how it even started back in 1948, when they
Yeah.
started planning this thing.
Right.
And they knew exactly where we were gonna be today, and where they should be on this board that they got us on. So, it's all,
Ronald Reagan had updated.
Ronald Reagan in 1986, then 84.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan updated the plan, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
1984.
Yeah.
84?
Yeah, I heard about that.
So what, the King Alfred?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
Because they're
before,
gonna,
they didn't
you know,
make it.
make it
Current.
current, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because they included the Hispanics in 1984. so
Okay.
they updated it.
that's right,
You,
because their
do you have
population's growing.
a question also?
Yeah, well, comment, but,
Okay.
I was gonna say that, like, in terms of us retaliating, it doesn't always have to be with, like, I'm just kind of adding on to what you said, it doesn't always have to be a physical force, like, obviously, if you wanna hurt them, you hurt them where it really hurts, which is their pocket,
Yeah,
right? And you start using your rights and you start using the laws. If we could learn those things,
Yeah.
then those are the ways to kind of
Yeah.
fight back against it,
Yeah.
yeah,
right?
and guess what? That's what the temple was
Yeah,
about.
Yeah.
retaliate
But
with our nationality.
These guys
Yeah.
dropped the
That's what
ball,
we need to do.
Yeah.
you know?
Well,
Because
And
I
then
mean,
also-
also-
could you not like do something like put a lien on
Yeah.
No,
police
you
department
you
or
become a
something
national,
or
you become a
whatever?
national, then if they basically commit tort on a national, they're in trouble,
Mhm.
straight up.
Yeah,
But they could do it to you because you're calling yourself a nigger, black, or whatever. You know what I mean, outside of yourself, who you really are. Of course, they could do that all day long.
'Cause it-
And that's,
because it-
and that's what's been going on. And they love it when you go out there and picket and
yeah.
say that, you know what
Yeah,
I
I was telling
mean?
my
Black
brother the
rights
other day,
and
I said, they're
shit.
not scared of
Love
anybody
it.
picketing and like,
Especially when you're saying black rights, of course, well, who would be scared of that?
yeah.
that's also allowing them to figure out who's.
Yeah, who's who?
That's right.
Yeah.
So is this nationality the same as sovereign?
Sorry, one sec, we'll answer that one.
Nationals are
Yeah.
sovereigns.
Yeah, if you
We're
claim
tied to
yourself
the
as-
land.
Yo, hold on. We got a question.
Allah.
Yes, blood.
Now, from your understanding, what is the cracker psychology to the trust? Because there's a big cracker psychology going on about this trust. We want to know that, but you got it? There is a cracker psychology to the trust, and I feel that there's a reason to follow that situation. Could you address that?
Well, the,
Because that's vast.
what basically, because we become corporate,
Yes.
right? Because we become corporate people, we can't hold anything. We can't have property,
All right.
right? Or because we're a slave, we can't own property.
Yes.
So, through us having their name, is how they create the trust to get the property and stuff in their name so they can claim it later after we're gone,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they can't do that in the Americas. Because this is like, because they're European. So if they're gonna create trust or anything of
Is
that
this a-
nature,
is
it
this
has to
around-
be, it has to be in Europe that they do it. They can't do it over here.
Is this around the word of, that's cheating?
It's
Is that the
cheating,
same-
yeah.
Is that the
Right.
same thing that you're
Right.
talking
That's
about?
cheap,
That-
yeah.
that they can't
Right.
do it here because it's our land.
Yeah.
But they can do it somewhere else as long as we abdicated that.
So their hands are tied
Right,
in this geography.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Good. That's a good thing to know.
you know, it's, but fraud has no statute of limitation.
That's true.
Indeed.
So if we don't say, hey, I know what you're doing, then they'll just continue doing what they're doing, which is what they've been doing, because we never said,
Hey,
I proclaim my nationality.
A whole other crack of psychology going on.
Right,
It's like
yeah,
doctrine.
for sure,
Must be aware of that.
right, for sure,
Okay.
right? But it's not going on to torment us. It's going on because that's for their survival.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's right. To protect their own
They're
self.
going to exercise how they're supposed to exercise,
Yeah.
right? Based on what they have, based on what they're given, based on what they know, based on how they stimulate the ethers,
Because it's a psychology. That's basically what it is.
yeah, right? And that's what it was coming down to in the beginning. That once you have the mind, then you have the body. You know, once you get into somebody's psyche, you know,
they're done.
if I be thinking that, yeah, well, you know, you can't dribble with any of your hands, like I'm stealing the ball every
The
time.
mind will follow.
Every time,
Yeah.
right? You know, if we're supposed to be, you know, it's like intimidation tactics, like when we used to play ball back in the day, right? There's certain teams that you play against that in warm-ups, they're getting technicals because they're dunking and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to get the other guys like, oh, these guys are doing windmills and
Yeah.
reverse dunks and
Yeah.
tomahawk dunks,
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
you know, and getting technicals, and their coaches and getting mad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're done for.
Yeah.
It's okay, you're done. Game's
Yeah.
over.
You know, before it started.
The dunk fest, right? Just because you got the mind, you know. That's like with the drumming. Like the Zulus beating the drum when they're going to war.
Yeah, you
and
know they're coming,
You
yeah.
know they're coming. 3 days
You
away.
start
or
running,
whatever,
right? Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's
What do
time
you
to
mean,
run.
we're 3 days away, we're hearing the drums, like how many guys are coming with me, you know? What's going on, right? So, it's, the important thing is to, if you're Negro, black, colored, you think that you're that, you know, take into consideration that we've never heard about Noble Drawley before, and, you know, who is this, and look into what he presented to the nations, not just to the Moors only, you know, because we don't own him, even though he's our prophet.
You can't.
Like, we don't own him, right? He didn't just come for us only.
To share him.
Let everybody else, you know, die. You know, like, yeah, they need to know that, yeah, you proclaim your nationality too,
Yeah.
wherever you're at. You know, if you're a Moor in Germany, yeah, you better proclaim your Moorish German nationality, you know, and start exercising like Saint Maurice again. You know, if you're in India, if you're in Europe, yo, proclaim your nationality, because I know King Alfred plan is global.
Yeah, especially in the European.
Yeah, like it has to be global,
Yeah.
because there's minorities in all those places, so-called minorities.
Again, I think that from the School of Higher Learning, which I am attending, I don't think that cracker psychology should be taken seriously. is a ploy. This is psychology. What it is what we need to do now. That's what we have in front of us.
Yeah.
Reaching as many people as we can in the advertisement,
Right.
in advertising.
Right.
That is the key right there.
Yeah, but then again, you know, like, cause remember we were talking about in the psych ward, you know, the biggest part of the psychological attack is to get the person under attack to fight against themselves,
To fight back. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, when we say, okay, well, nationality is the order of the day, we got 2,000 newspapers, you know what I mean, with it written in there, nationality is the order of the day, proclaim your nationality, here's where you could go, here's the person you could talk to, if you wanna get whatever, and then we're giving it for free, and people are like, well, nah, not really, I don't want it, or whatever, then,
You guys see what you're saying? Yeah.
you know, right?
Yeah.
We, our presenting this shouldn't just be to anybody. It has to be to
You know, it's interesting.
more so the young and unborn.
That's what's interesting too, though. Is something that's worth nothing, most people don't want. Something that's worth $1 million, people want.
Yeah.
Right? So the value of trying to give something away that's
Right.
there, people will say no.
People say no.
You say it's worth $1 million, all
Yeah.
of a sudden everyone, dollars, notes.
Right.
Everyone all of a sudden wants it.
Yep,
And that's where they've got us too.
conditioning, brainwashing.
Too good to be true.
That's right,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Like, bring me your gold, I'll give you money.
Yeah. And all of a sudden everyone's running.
Everybody's running, everybody's finding, all of a sudden.
Yeah,
you know what I
you
mean?
got your credit.
Couldn't-
Couldn't find any
All
of
of a
this
sudden,
before.
like, you know, we got nothing, you're broke, and then this guy comes out with a commercial.
Because you
and
know what I was
now-
thinking about? Because I thought
Now
about these
you-
commercials being part of this whole thing, eh? Because you see how they were looking for this gold up about 3-4 years ago.
Get the
Madness,
gold out of
women
circulation.
dancing,
Yeah.
bring your granny's gold. Right? Remember that? Bring your granny's gold. Right? We got money for you. And you notice the people who were offering the gold,
Yeah,
the money
yeah,
to,
yeah.
a lot of these Europeans, right?
Yeah,
Right?
And who's running with the gold?
right, you know? Who's the
That
one
was all an
Who's the one
attempt.
that Yashua was kicking out the money changers?
So that was all
That's
part of
what
that
they did
too, I
during the
think,
Depression
right? Wasn't
times,
that?
right?
Say that again?
That's what they did during the Depression times.
Right, exact
They
same
took
thing.
all the gold off the street,
Right.
and then the money wasn't, the money became legal tender, it
Yeah.
wasn't worth its weight in gold anymore, they took
Yeah.
all the
Right.
gold.
Yeah, 33,
And then they got, and then they got
Yeah.
rid of that
Yeah.
standard. You know,
Roosevelt.
isn't that what they did? They
Yeah,
took
that's
that.
right.
I don't know, I don't
So
understand that.
the money is
Yeah.
just paper,
Yeah.
it only has what value they give it.
Exactly, not backed by anything.
So that was the value of the gold.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
They're
something,
doing it
I heard
again.
about something, the gold and silver standard being taken off. I
Yeah,
don't know
that
what
was,
I
that
don't know what
was
that
the,
meant.
that's the taking the gold out of
Oh, that's taking the value of it
Yeah.
away.
Take
So all of
away
us-
the value, so
Right.
now you just have the paper,
And then they can affix whatever value they
whatever
want
they
to
want
it.
to it.
Yeah.
And that's where they can then manipulate everything.
Right.
Just prop it up by ignorance.
Because now it's under their jurisdiction.
And because you have nothing, no platform to value it to, then it can be manipulated.
Right.
Because if
Because
that,
there's
if
no-
that bill
Yeah.
or that note
Yeah.
represented one coin,
Yeah.
then that would be something.
Yeah, it's just a
Now all of a
prop.
sudden,
Now it's
that,
just.
that note has nothing to
Yeah.
connect to it.
Nothing.
But it did-
Yeah, it's just
no,
a
but now
prop,
it
my
has
brother, just a
The
prop.
people,
Huh?
it has the people now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
to
right.
connect to it.
That's right.
Well,
The people are now the source, the currency.
that's right.
Yeah.
The people are now
Human
the,
commodity.
yeah, the commodity.
But what I'm saying is it takes the value right out of that.
Right. Right. Yeah, because if I have myself,
Then I don't need
I
that.
don't need the money.
Yeah.
Why not just, you know?
Go and do what
but,
I'm-
but then you can't really trade, you know, yourself
But
like
we,
like that. But
we could in that sense
In-
of
in that
saying,
sense,
if I
yeah,
go
you
chop
can.
you some wood for you, and you go
Right.
cook some food for
Exactly.
me, that's the same
right,
thing.
right. You know, but that's really gonna happen only when
When we wake up.
we start as a community.
That's right.
The Moorish nationals,
That's right.
right? That, you know, we have
Almost like a village.
50,000 foot whatever,
Yeah.
right? And then it's sectioned off, and then, you know,
Your
when
villages and everyone's doing their thing.
everybody's, then we got a farm in the back, and we got
Once
horses,
that
and we
happens,
have,
Start being
The
your
values.
brother's keeper.
right?
That value's done. They're done at that point, right?
Because then what do we need them for?
Well, and we've been the basis of their whole energy system to begin
Exactly,
with.
right? So at that point,
They're done.
what are they gonna do? You know, because they can't stay here, because now we're making claims on everything now.
That's right.
Because everybody's national now.
That's right.
So everybody's saying, you know what? I don't think I'm paying my mortgage this month.
And all of that stuff is just.
Because that's
Because
fraud.
That's fraud.
Oh yeah, you guys need to show me the title before I pay you guys anything ever again. Where's the title?
As well as
property.
traveling on the land,
All that stuff,
all of that. Gone.
right? Yeah, like, that,
In
that's,
a moment, in a heartbeat.
in a heartbeat.
And then because they've had nothing to begin with, they don't have anything to fall back on.
Exactly. Because remember, they can't go back to Europe, because the Moors over there started using their coat of arms again,
Right,
right?
right.
And they reclaimed that, you know, the
That's right,
Danes
yeah,
and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
kicked the snakes out of,
Yeah.
Yeah. snakes
Wow.
came back,
Wow.
right? And took back over, because for claiming their nationality.
Right.
Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
And everybody else is game for it. Everybody else is game. That's the key to topple the beast system. Nationalize.
Mhm.
And then they can't put all these things on you.
They've got this massive psychic war going on, which we have fallen prey to, and our children have fallen prey to, and our grandmothers have fallen prey to.
Yeah.
So we
But
gotta-
it's an easy spell to break. Nationalize.
That's right.
Like, that's
But-
the spell breaker.
Yeah.
That's the spell breaker. That's the, you know, magic wand on your forehead and then the dust
And it's all done.
and the illusion starts tearing away like that. The wall's peeling and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's what that is really.
How does it work in countries that are not under the Commonwealth of the Queen?
Say that again?
How does it work in countries that are not under the Commonwealth of the Queen? Are they any more of an
Countries that are
advantage?
not,
Like,
okay, countries that are not
Fiji
under
or
the,
like-
under the Commonwealth
yeah,
are,
of the Queen. Are
they
they
would-
more of an advantage?
but they, well, kind of, because they're free, but majority of them still had some contract with some other nation, French or Portuguese or somebody, right? So, it might not be like royal proclamations or whatever that have them in slavery. It might just be, leader,
Yeah, little governing body.
little governing body getting thrown in,
Tribes,
the
yeah.
head that's bought. You know, so well, he's bought, so he's not doing anything for the people, and you know, he just starved them out. And then next year, they're gonna say, well, you know, that guy wasn't, just like Tom was saying in the thing, you know, we voted for that guy last year.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he didn't work out, so let's go vote for this guy this year.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna go vote for that him, and then, well, he doesn't work out. Okay, well, let's just go vote for that guy, instead of governing themselves.
Well, but and
And how
basically,
about handling your own affairs and stop getting people to lumber?
I was just curious because I was looking at things like Haiti and earthquake and other things that happened there, and it's like they're not under the Commonwealth, but yet they're going through so much trouble.
Yeah.
And America's coming under pretense of we're helping you guys.
Right,
but
right.
Have you seen anything really happen yet with all that money? Not
Well,
really.
well, even on that level, like, cause Haiti's a Moorish republic, right?
I didn't know that.
You know, Haiti is,
It was first independent.
is,
The very
Maybe
first
they want-
yeah, like
republic
they're,
became independent.
Yeah, I knew they wanted-
became independent, right? Why did they do that? Because they came from Africa? No, cause that's their land. They're indigenous,
but I also,
right?
it goes further than that, because what I understood, the IMF, which is the International Money Fund.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
to do with that, because what
Right.
they do is they try and go in and destabilize these countries
That's
and
right.
take them over economically.
Right.
And this is a natural event that's happened that has put them in a place,
Yeah.
right? And really what the answer to it is not to take any of that money, because that money is.
Haiti
was
had
Yeah,
to,
I don't know if it's really
for
natural,
for its
though.
freedom, it had to pay back France
Yes.
for
Tons.
all the services that they lost.
Three wars.
While enslaving the Haitian.
Yeah.
But Haiti did pay back the money that was, how you say, imposed upon them.
Yeah.
And that's where the IMF came in, because now you have no way to enslave or to keep the Haitian down, because what you claim that we owed, we give it to you already.
Right,
So
right.
now the IMF came and said, okay, we'll give you this more money to help your,
Yeah, but what they don't tell you about is what the concessions for taking that money, they then, what happens is they do all this stuff where they get them involved in their trade, and they start taking away the stuff that
They
they
wanted,
owe, and they
they
start
wanted to be a
shutting.
player, so they sold their soul.
Just to get more.
That was it.
So let's have one conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To read the trust.
right, so,
Because I heard the other day that Portia was talking about, coming out of the Commonwealth of the Queen.
Yeah.
Jamaica?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
it's a big step.
That's her, she made that in her inauguration speech.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
said that she wanted to, Jamaica to be a republic
Yeah.
and not under the Commonwealth. She wanted to
She
get rid of the
realizes, you
Queen.
know,
Yeah, right, exactly.
And now
You
she's
know, but-
receiving a lot of,
threats.
how you say, a lot of trouble because of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now she's
Because she
like
said the-
Well,
wavering.
that's what
Yeah.
happened with Gaddafi, right?
She
That's
said
why
the magic word.
That's why they killed him.
You know, republic.
Because he was telling the African countries not to borrow money from the IMF.
Right. You know, and why should they? Look all the resources you have. Like, you can't
Mhm.
trade some stuff to pay off whatever that you have. All this stuff that you have
It
is
belongs
big
to you.
continent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna pay back in fiat dollars,
Faster state,
Mhm.
that's what it is.
right? You know,
There's a lot, for example, when they talk about a lot about forgiving the debts of how you say, of developing nations and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's another way that they use to, how you say,
Make you think.
enslave you,
Yeah,
because what
exactly.
happens is, they forgive the debt,
Yeah.
okay, and then the same amount of money that you supposedly had owed, okay, they say that they will decide how you spend that money,
Yeah.
okay, to develop your economy.
That's right.
Basically, what happens is that those countries are not allowed to produce anything for themselves.
For
They have to
themselves,
get
yeah, that's
everything from
From
like I said,
outside,
the
yeah,
European
they have to
nations.
import them.
Yeah.
They have to
And then what
import
From
them,
happens
they
outside,
can't
you have to
export.
export
And
everything.
then all of your
out.
natural
We don't
resources
pay.
go to pot
That's fine.
because you haven't been
Jamaica, same thing.
developing
Yeah.
that and you're buying milk from America versus from your own cows.
Exactly,
And then it shuts your market down.
right,
And then once that happens, you're then dependent on them.
yeah.
You
They
can't
did,
buy
they
your
did
own
that to,
stuff.
they did that to Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was just
You know
saying
about
that.
that, right? I saw one video on
We
that.
call
Yeah.
it.
And again, it's not like they're not doing these things because they're evil people and they're trying to take over. They're doing these things because we're not standing up. We're not making our claim, so they're claiming everything and leaving us out of it. Because even if I give you something, it's gonna be mine anyways because your name is a fraud. Your name is my name, so what could I really give you? You know, if your name's my name.
Another psychology. You see, it's all a series of psychological behaviors and actions going on to distract from the real issue.
That's right.
Now look at this. You can't take it with you. What does that mean? You're talking about money, aren't we?
Yeah.
When we say you can't take it with you.
Right.
So don't get distracted by this monetary cracker psychology, because that's what they push to get people excited about money.
Right,
And-
right.
But it's not important. It is our minds,
Yeah.
how we deal with situations now, as we have to go forward. Because there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work. So why are you getting distracted by this cracker psychology of money? You're not working
Yeah.
on what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
This
You're
is,
distracted.
this is, must be an awareness.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Keep on the track, but we'll be aware that cracker psychology is going to get much more and much more done.
Yeah, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Indeed.
Indeed. And what they say is that as you get more aware, you're gonna get more, attract more and
Yes,
more of this
indeed.
stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not really attracting,
No, I
it's
know.
just to
Yeah.
test you to see are you
Well, it's just
really
gonna get-
serious.
Or you can get
what you're
distracted.
saying.
This is
Yeah.
where I talk about the spirituality,
Yes.
it's a
Yeah,
negative.
divine and national.
Not minding your own business, which will call for some kind of meditation
Yeah.
and some serious thinking.
Yeah.
As well as some serious work.
That's right.
Big
There's a
time
work
work.
there.
Big time work.
Yeah.
Right. What else was there? Is there any questions or anything like that? Everybody's clear?
The trust can be downloaded online, and that's an important document to read.
Yeah,
License, handbook?
the handbook?
The trust, the actual, this document here that I found the sister is I would like you to have a look at, that I downloaded online. And I think that's an important issue to be aware of, to know, because knowledge is so powerful.
Okay, yeah. Right, yeah, so this is just, this is the
Many more pages.
claim, yeah, the claim that that Noble Drew Ali made about us having a vast estate and
Have
that.
you read that before?
Yeah, we read it before.
Yes,
Right?
yeah,
Um,
that's a line, we should
and
be,
that-
it should be
that-
done.
the land of the Moors was put in a trust,
Yeah.
right, by the Prophet.
Yeah.
Right, so he's the truster,
Yes,
and then there was a middleman,
Benefactor.
trustee,
Oh, trustee.
and then we're the beneficiaries of the trust that was created.
Right.
indeed, going to court.
Yeah, right.
And this is
Who was
what
that
that,
Frank Lewis Bay.
That's right. He's,
and this has to
That's
do
the
with
name
that.
of, but it's not really like that really because the trustee is just a middleman. Like it's really, you know we don't need the preacher between us and God.
we can go directly to God.
Right. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali came directly to us already. Right? Like in the Circle 7 talking about, Egypt, the capital dominion, the dominion of the Moors, and talking about him having sovereign power and giving us charters and doing these things that sovereigns do, right? He gave us what we needed in doses that we would be, we lead up to realizing that, okay, well, somebody can't be a trustee if the beneficiaries are,
Yeah.
because,
Simply because of the word trust.
right,
Because you cannot trust.
because if you don't trust, you don't have access to the trust,
Exactly, yeah.
right?
Hmm.
If you don't see Noble Drew Ali as the prophet,
Which is the agreement.
which is the agreement, then you don't have access. This is why, the dirty Moors don't have access. And they could copyright Circle 7s and they can do all this stuff all they want, but you're only looking stupid. Because you obviously don't know what's going on if you're trying to do certain stuff. Right? That's why we do the thing of, it's not about the card and all that.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, card's good, you know what I mean?
But at the end of the game.
But at the end of the day,
It's nothing.
it's not really about the card. It's about, are you a national or are you a slave state? Mentally.
Not about the shoes, right?
Yeah,
How you
exactly.
play the game.
It's not about your skill, like, do you have game?
That's right.
Like, can you shoot?
Yeah.
Or
Play.
the shoe's gonna do it for you.
That's right. Well, the shoes aren't gonna do it for you. That's
Yeah,
the whole point.
right, exactly. Right?
Huh.
So, that looks like it. We're just finished with the reading of The Voice of the Prophet, Friday, September 18th, 1929. If you have race pride and love your race, join the Moor Science Temple of America and become part of this divine movement. Then you will have power to redeem your race because you will know who you are and your forefathers were. Because where there is unity, there is strength. Together we stand, divided we fall. Come, good people, because I, the prophet, sent to redeem this nation from mental slavery, which you have now, need every one of you to think that your condition can be better. This is a field open to strong men and women to uplift the nation and take your place in the affairs of men. If the Europeans and other nations are helping me, why not you? It is your problem. The Negro problem is being solved only as it can, and that is by the Moorish National Divine Movement. If you have a nation, you must have a free national name in order to be recognized by this nation as an American citizen. This is what is meant when said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added unto you," by the prophet. Islam. If you have no questions, then let's rise and close out. Give thanks for everybody online. Give thanks for everybody in attendance. And we'll continue 2 weeks from today. So 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe,
Father of love,
Father of love,
truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation. By night and day, through our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Islam, Ashe. Yes, good one. Islam.
Still doing burning the midnight oil, doing school and work. You're doing some classes or something. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I'm in another set of classes right now.
Yeah.
This language classes now, so.
Oh, y'all was in subclass. And then you come to the real school.
Everything's relevant.
Yeah, it is for sure.
And you? Say my goodbyes.
Yes. And then we'll see you again.
yeah. I mean, how
Yeah, I think
See you, brother.
Good to see you, finally, again. I've been trying for a
What were
long
you saying?
This is my brother.
That's what I thought you said.
the problem is with me, I'm trying to fight this. I'm trying to fight the computer thing. Because so, but what happens if I want to follow?
Oh, yeah.
all right. All right.
We wanted to talk to you.
But I'm saying the libraries are here longer, but the computer is
Here, you see what you see that borrow
Yeah.
Actual controller.
Well, I don't.
Well, it's real
Yeah,
beer.
but wait, when the computer was on,
Micro.
we're
Really
done.
with micro.
So you gotta keep those other, I'm
Gonna
feeling,
be
you gotta
too
keep
micro.
those old systems alive.
A lot of
Right.
this, a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the right thing on here.
So the sale itself
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Oh, saying she sounds like you.
Search create a new.
I hope that's a good thing.
Oh,
That's my fear. I saw everyone's dependent on this. No, that's why.
It's already there, you know?
This thing is
You want your computer, some things begin to happen.
I know.
You know this?
Yeah?
That's control.
Well, yeah, but I don't do the computer. So
I do, I'm always on it.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Work and this and that and some literature.
Just gotta pay attention.
So you guys do this every,
Every other Tuesday now.
Tuesday.
Here, yeah.
Coming together.
Yeah.
And then of course for Sunday, you know where we are. Monday, we're in Lawrence
More
area.
weekends to another.
Monday and the alternative Tuesday.
Yeah, but TV on that, between the two of them.
We used to do it.
We have a, but the distraction, I deliberate
Oh,
She
of
did
course.
all.
and conspire
And
through
yeah,
through psychology.
again, everything's gotta go.
That's where you
But
met.
but I didn't get to have
Beyond
the
the
person I got to come out. Is that
I
mean?
talked about the daily thing where you get up and
Good. Yeah.
just to get by. That to me, at the very basis of distraction.
Yeah, local.
Okay. I remember.
Where?
There you go. No to use it.
Yes.
I'm not gonna stop.